So hey, I'm here with my friend Mike, who has an amazing testimony. Got in a car accident. Would you give us the rundown, Mike, of exactly what happened? And
So I remember getting ready for bed the night before and waking up in the hospital 2.5 weeks later, but they say my car, I was going 70 miles an hour down I-5 and rolled my car 3 times at 70 up an embankment and hit a road sign 12 feet in the air.
and then you were airlifted to a hospital. What did the doctors tell your mom and dad?
Pretty much that there was a 50% chance that I'd be alive by the time they got there, and if I lived, I'd be a vegetable.
But immediately they started a prayer chain.
Yep.
And everybody started praying for you. And then, what did that look like? Your parents show up at the hospital. The doctor obviously did some work on you. He came out, but there were noticeable improvements, right?
Yes. And there was several people from my college. They actually filled the waiting room.
Okay.
And they were really shocked at the amount of support I had.
That's seriously amazing.
They said that the prayer chain stuff went around so fast that within a couple of hours, people were praying for me in several countries and states, and
That's awesome.
so it was a miracle. So they said that I had a bleeding in the brain in 3 places in the frontal lobes, and that they were either going to have to saw the skull back down the middle or drill a hole in the side to relieve the pressure.
Okay.
And they said it wasn't a matter of if, but when they were going to have to do that. And so they drilled a little hole right here and put a thing to measure my brain pressure in, and it never exceeded the normal limits, so they never had to do either of those.
Right.
And then I had fluid in my stomach, and they said it was from my bowels, and they said that I'd have to do a major surgery. And they came back and they're like, the fluid disappeared, we don't know what happened.
Right.
And so
but all the while, this prayer chain is going.
Right.
And everybody's standing in faith, believing that God is working on your behalf.
Yes. And so there was more miracles that happened, but it was just like things kept happening, and they're just like, we don't know what's going on. And as all the time, my parents are like, well, we do. We know what's going on. So.
Yeah. And it's pretty awesome that you have pictures and news articles and all that stuff to share.
Yes.
Yeah. So Mike, this is you?
Yes.
And this is your car before?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what happened.
It's the pole on the sign hit right behind the driver's door.
So it was like a near miss.
So if I would have hit just a couple inches back, I would have been dead. They couldn't get the doors open, so they pulled me out the back of the car on a stretcher.
Oh my goodness.
My brother crawled through and got all my stuff and said that the only place somebody could have lived was in the driver's seat. I was supposed to have taken 3 people home with me that day. And last minute, their plans changed. So,
They all bailed out.
Yep.
So this is where the pole hit, and then this is the back of your car, right?
Right. And I was taken to... So it happened at exit 49 on I-5, which was the Castle Rock exit.
Okay.
And then they took me by ambulance to Longview Hospital, and then they airlifted me to OHSU in Portland because they said I needed a neurosurgeon.
Oh, okay.
The first time I actually walked again, they had handed me a soccer ball, and my dad was holding on to me, and I...
So is that this picture? Let's flip it. So that's the first time you walked?
Yes, they handed me a soccer ball, I slid out the end of the bed and walked.
That's awesome.
Countdown on the days I was in the hospital. I believe I was in for, I think it was about 30 days. I can't remember quite exactly.
A full month.
About a month, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And by the grace of God, you're still here.
Yes.
Yeah? That's awesome. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Yeah, they said that though that I'd never be able to play, probably never be able to play soccer again. They never told me that. They told me I could, but they told my parents I'd probably never be able to.
Okay.
But I continued to play. I played through the rest of college, played semi-pro, and got an offer to play professionally in Germany.
Oh, wow. That's pretty amazing. Yeah? Yeah.
So, I mean, just right there, it shows the amount of miracle there was.
Uh-huh.
And all the stuff that I was able to relearn. And I did physical, speech, and occupational therapy, and I
Okay.
relearned how to walk.
Uh-huh. That's awesome. All right. Well, hey, Mike, thanks for sharing.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome, buddy.